My name is Peter J. Dumas, and I'm not your average criminal defense attorney. I don't help people get away with crimes. I help them get a grip. At the law offices of Peter J. Dumas, we believe in one thing: accountability with dignity. Maybe you texted your getaway driver mid robbery. Maybe you thought your burner phone wouldn't be traced because you turned off Bluetooth. Maybe, just maybe, you posted your crimes to your own Instagram story. And now you're looking at hard time and harder conversations with your grandma. That's where I come in. I'm not here to argue that you were framed by the deep state or that the drugs weren't yours. I'm here to help you say the words every judge longs to hear. Your Honor, I was a complete dillhole. We offer services like guilty plea coaching, apology letter spell check, mugshot makeover consultation, and our exclusive Sorry I Did That merch package to wear at sentencing. Because at the law offices of Peter J. Dumas, we don't run from consequences. We walk toward them in loafers with our heads held high. So if you've recently been a complete dillhole, don't call a high powered shark who promises to get you off scot free. Call me, Peter J. Dumas, attorney at law, the law offices of Peter J. Dumas. We don't make excuses, we make grown ups.
Well, hello there, my friend. Sound check, checkaroo, check, check, check. Welcome to the channel. So glad you're here. My name is Gavin. This is my channel. I am experiencing an old man situation. My elbow is just hurting, and apparently for no reason. So it looks like I'm stiff. It's because I'm just in pain. I don't want to move all that much on this side. I want to cut my arm off above the elbow, my left arm, and I am left-handed. Oh my goodness. Hey, special thanks to the law offices of Peter J. Dumas for sponsoring this video. So grateful for their support. Today, we are circling back around, everyone. We're circling back around to this case. Do you guys remember this case? Do you remember this person? Her name is Kimberly Sullivan. Kimberly Sullivan, maybe you'll remember this. Remember this body cam footage? Firefighters, first responders, and there in the background, you just saw it. First responders respond to a fire. This is in Waterbury, Connecticut. And she's like, my stepson is in there. Look in the background. It's blurred out. It's blurred out. But there he is in the background. Her stepson. A 31-year-old man, 32-year-old man who had been allegedly kept in captivity in that house for over 2 decades. She is now facing charges having to do with it. And oh my goodness, we read documents in this case. We read the affidavit of probable cause. It was a tough one to read, guys, because this man was a kid when his father and his stepmother, he was like 3 years old when they started locking the refrigerator. Ultimately, they locked him in his room. There were complaints to Child Protective Services or Youth and Family Services. I can't remember what it's called in Connecticut. But apparently there was one too many, because then they took him out of school and then they just locked him in there. And he was in there for 22 hours out of every 24, according to him, until he decided to take matter into his own hands. What happened was his dad died, and his stepmother gave him one of his dad's pieces of old clothing, and inside it was a lighter. And he decided, it took him some time, over a year, to decide, my only way out of here is if I start the house on fire, then maybe the firefighters will come and they will rescue me. And the kicker in all this is the last Halloween as a child that he was allowed to participate in, he dressed up as a firefighter. Oh my goodness. He knew in that childlike way that firefighters would rescue him. And boy, did they. Oh my goodness. Boy, did they. Just such an inspiring story of the courage of this man who really is like a little kid. He was 68 pounds. As a grown man in his 30s, he was 68 pounds when they rescued him. So difficult to watch, so difficult to comprehend. And I don't understand how a person like her and her husband, this man's father, could do that. I just don't understand it. Now, the update for today that I want to bring you is that this man has spoken out for the first time, and he's done so with the help of a non-profit organization. My goodness, my left arm hurts. I am an old man, falling apart. Okay, this is the nonprofit organization Survivors Say. There it says, Survivors Say is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing survivors, victims, and their families with free strategic communications services and resources in the aftermath of a tragedy, serving as their advisor, advocate, and spokesperson when or if they choose to tell their story. So this seems, I believe they're on the level. I believe they're on the up and up. It seems that this is an organization that is working to do what it says it does. I don't know how this man, who now is going by the initial S, so we're going to call him S from now on. I don't know how S became connected with Survivors Say, but he did, and I am grateful that he did because we have a statement from him. Now, I have not read the statement in full because, as is typical on my channel, I like to be able to react for the first time along with you guys. Most times I don't read ahead. I just kind of get the gist and I go, okay, this is what I'm going to cover. And they posted S's statement on their Facebook page. And I just thought that we would go through this, maybe talk about the case a little bit. I will read some of your comments, and then we're going to call it good because I am an old, falling apart man that is in a lot of pain right now. It's killing me. Oh my goodness. This isn't about me. Gavin, this isn't about you. What the devil, man? This is about S, right? So let's read this, okay? The statement from posted to Survivor Say's Facebook page is a quote. It's a direct quote. It's a direct statement from S. It says, "Please call me S. This is not the name given to me by my parents when I was born. I'm choosing a new name for myself, and I will use that name as I reclaim control over my life and my future. My name is my choice, and it is the first of many choices I will make for myself now that I am free." Oh, so powerful. The first of many choices I will make for myself now that I am free. Of course, that means to S that he has never been allowed to make a choice in 31 years. I am a survivor of more than 20 years of captivity and DA, let's call it. I was held prisoner in my home from the time I was taken out of the 4th grade at age 11 until 2 months ago at age 31 when I purposefully set the fire that helped set me free. I'm speaking out today to begin the process of reclaiming my life and to have my say in how my story is told. Obviously, there has been a great deal of attention to the case, both in the local, national, and international media, as well as here on social media on channels like mine. So I think it's probably a good choice for him to make a statement, though. I mean, the only reason that I brought this to you guys is because he made a choice to make a public statement. I don't want to get into S's life. I don't want to dissect it. I don't want to learn any more about it than he wants us to know. And I think that's the most respectful thing to do. It's the best course of action. But because he has chosen to make a statement, I'm definitely going to read it and share it with you. He goes on to say, I am much better and stronger than I was the day the first responders carried me out of my home. I want to watch that one more time. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let me bring it back. Oh, this is the beginning. Okay, so the first responders. While you guys are watching this, you'll see them there he is up on the, no, he's not quite there yet, but you'll see him in the background. You have to be real quick. You'll see him in the background, and indeed, the fire responders, the firefighters, do pull him out of there. There he is right there. Bang. Okay. I'm much better and stronger than I was the day the first responders carried me out of my home. I am beyond grateful for the care I have received since then. To all the healthcare professionals who have helped and nurtured me, thank you. In addition to all of your care, I appreciate the chance to have my first ever birthday party to celebrate turning 32. You believe that? His first ever birthday party. All right, he continues. I also want to thank the first responders, the law enforcement investigators, and everyone who is working to hold those responsible for I'm just going to call it A, accountable. Thank you to everyone at Safe Haven Waterbury and everyone who has given to the GoFundMe page. We're going to look at that here in just a second. That will help cover some of the overwhelming expenses I will face in the weeks, months, and years to come. I am grateful to the conservator and my attorney who will help guide me through the legal process ahead. They have been invaluable to me, and I'm grateful for their tireless support. Man, I deeply hope that he is being cared for by people who care about him, that are not in it for fame or attention. I'm not accusing them of that. I just fear that somebody that has suffered so much for 3 decades might fall into the trap of a person or people who might take advantage of him. I believe that he is being taken care of. Okay, much has already been said that tells part of the story of the A I endured. Someday, perhaps my whole story will be told. Hey, do you guys remember that he basically has a 4th grade education? He learned to read. He read a lot. He's self-educated. So I'm sure that Survivors Say has helped in crafting this statement. I ask everyone involved in my story to fully cooperate with the authorities who are helping to seek justice for these crimes. Remember that it wasn't just his mom who knew about it. He had stepsisters. There were other people who knew what was going on. There were plenty of people that didn't have any idea. But there were those who knew. He continues, I also ask the public and the media to respect those investigations and my privacy as this process plays out. This isn't just a story, it's my life. And that is something that we hear from victims of terrible and sometimes extremely violent crimes quite frequently, is that, hey, this isn't a story. This isn't a story. This is my life, man. And those who understand that there's power in telling the story oftentimes can really move mountains, proverbial, of course. So it looks like he understands that, which is terrific. And I hope that this leads not only to his healing, to his happiness, but also for the healing and happiness of others who, if there's one person that this is happening to, there are 1,000. So there are others out there. Okay, I think this is the end. He finishes, "Thank you all for your thoughts and messages, your support, and your continued prayers as I recover. Please forward any inquiries about my recovery, requests for information or interviews, or the process ahead to David Guarino at Survivors Say, who has volunteered to serve as my spokesman. Thank you, S." I think that is the end. Yeah. So that is his entire statement. And it's brief, but it's powerful, man. It's powerful. Now, I know that there's some of you that are like, "Hey, stop showing me her face." And while it's true, there are some criminals that do their very best to get their face out there. In this case, this is somebody who wants to hide. Now, her attorney, of course, would say, "Oh, she's only accused of these things. Nothing has been proven. This is in a court of law," and all of that is true. But in the court of public opinion, where we live, we're going to get her face out there. And I don't mind her attorney saying that. He is a defense attorney, and that is his job, and it's an important one. But no, I want to get her face out there. I want people to recognize her. Let's go over to your comments real quick. Let me get the arm that does not want to work to push the right buttons. Susan Lewis, thank you very much for the super chat. It's good to see S claiming his own narrative. I'm so glad he is doing well. I share your sentiments, Susan, and thanks again for that super chat. Okay, going back up to the top. Brenda, are you using AI for this? Brenda, how dare you? How dare you besmirch me with an accusation, an allegation that I, your humble correspondent here on YouTube, would use artificial intelligence to find sponsors for my content? Well, that just hurts. But speaking of sponsors, let's hear from our sponsor.
My name is Peter J. Dumas, and I'm not your average criminal defense attorney. I don't help people get away with crimes. I help them get a grip. At the law offices of Peter J. Dumas, we believe in one thing: accountability with dignity. Maybe you texted your getaway driver mid-robbery. Maybe you thought your burner phone wouldn't be traced because you turned off Bluetooth. Maybe, just maybe, you posted your crimes to your own Instagram story, and now you're looking at hard time and harder conversations with your grandma. That's where I come in. I'm not here to argue that you were framed by the deep state or that the drugs weren't yours. I'm here to help you say the words every judge longs to hear. Your Honor, I was a complete dillhole. We offer services like guilty plea coaching, apology letter spell check, mugshot makeover consultation, and our exclusive "Sorry I Did That" merch package to wear at sentencing. Because at the law offices of Peter J. Dumas, we don't run from consequences. We walk toward them, in loafers, with our heads held high. So if you've recently been a complete dillhole, don't call a high-powered shark who promises to get you off scot-free. Call me, Peter J. Dumas, attorney at law, the law offices of Peter J. Dumas. We don't make excuses, we make grown-ups.
And I am indeed grateful for the law offices of Peter J. Dumas. Good Treble Studio says, "This is genius. You're brilliant at parody and satire. Please lean into it." It is pretty fun. Super Charismatic feels me on the old man situation. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go down to the comments about the case at hand here. You guys are awesome. Idea Delight says she needs to be held in prison as well as her 2 daughters and a boyfriend who knew of the boy. Sickening. It's Department of Children and Families. Thank you very much for that. Girl Friday says prayers for justice and wellness for him. Heather Egger, I am so glad he is still with us. I heard some medical opinion that he may be too far gone. He is so strong mentally and physically. I really hope he has a great new life at some point. I do too. I do too. Brenda B says everything breaks after 50. Well, Brenda, I'm 49. I'm just a early. I'm just an overachiever, I guess. All right. Lefties do need to stick together. Us southpaws. Paper Chaser says she has to have some severe mental health issues. The father as well. Yeah, I agree. I can't imagine that somebody in their right mind would treat another human being like this. I don't get it. Jess says, Gavin, that coat or jacket, or maybe it's a shacket, it is nice. And my wife did pick it out. Yeah, I like it. I was feeling a little chilly, but now that I am under these hot lights, it's starting to get a little hot. Have I tried hot wax? I mean, I have, but not for my elbow. Was that help for the elbow? Super Charismatic says, good on S for choosing his own name. Love that for him. Girl Friday says, I stand behind him. He's amazing, and he is. He definitely is. Brenda B says, Gavin, imagine the bravery it took to start this fire. He couldn't predict the outcome. Could have perished in that fire. Yeah, and in fact, that's something that he said in the documents, is that he didn't know what the end was going to be. But he felt like it was worth it anyway. Super Charismatic. Meanwhile, his captor is free. Yeah, she is out on bond. That is true. Diagnosing you with tendinitis due to your overuse of antique wired mouse. You know what? I am a southpaw, but my antique wired mouse is in the right hand. I think what happened is I went, and for the first time in 31 years, I played disc golf. I played it with my sons because our oldest son had just taken up the sport. It was something that I loved when I was a kid. And I was like, I would love to do that. And so all we played was 5 holes. It was just this little 5-hole little par 15 out in Crawford County, Pennsylvania. And I honestly think that I've got like pitcher's elbow or tennis elbow from throwing a disc 18 times because I was 3 over. Anyway, yeah. I'm an old man. Girl Friday, heartbreaking but also heartwarming as he regains his life back. Indeed. Amy says he is so strong, and what a powerful statement to make. It's lovely. I want to bring up his statement again so we can kind of take a look at it. Wrong button, Gavin. This button, right? This was the third of the 3. Let's go to the first, and I'll just keep that up. We'll move through it a little bit here and there. Golden Girl, this is so well written for someone who has no formal education. He deserves all the love in the world. Yeah, I think that Survivor Say definitely helped him with that. I mean, I don't think I could have written that statement. It's very well written. All right. Jess says, S is my hero. I think he's an amazing human being. I'm so grateful I get to put a name to him now. This case makes my heart hurt for the little boy who was first locked away 20 years ago. Yeah, I've got a 4th grader and a 5th grader now. And that's maybe the reason why this case speaks to me, is that our youngest son is the same age that S was when he was locked away in captivity. And our youngest daughter is coming up on that age. So yeah, she's coming up on double digits, actually. She's turning 10 like in 3 days. In fact, she's coming home from a quick little trip that she and her mom and brother took to New York City to go visit our daughter and son-in-law and their cat. for her birthday. Anywho, yes. Shane says, people taking advantage of him would be a concern if I didn't seem like he was surrounded with such great people showing him the love and care he deserves. Yeah, I think you're right. It's just something like in me. I'm just so concerned about that because for his whole life, it's not just 20 years, it's 31 years, almost 32 years. The people who should be able to be trusted to care for him did not. But I agree with you. I agree. Leslie Ann says, it's true these types of things can bring out awful people. I truly hope for the best for him. There's so many people who share your compassion there, Leslie Ann. Brenda says, I pray that he doesn't have any other ailments from his starvation. I can't even imagine. I imagine that he does have physical ailments because of that, but I do hope that they're able to be addressed and he can live a long and healthy life. Vanessa Maldonado says, this is my town. It's sickening. Yeah, Vanessa, I'm sorry that you're so close to that. But I think that you should be proud of your town. I really do. Like, I live in a little town that the people of the little town impress me all the time. And I think the people of Waterbury, once they discovered what was going on here, have done a terrific job. I think you should be proud of your town. And I hope that this having happened in your town doesn't put any kind, because it doesn't, I hope you don't feel like it puts any kind of stain or anything on the town. No, your town's probably delightful. It's this person that is not. That is the person who is not. Let me go to the third one. We'll bring this back up. Okay, let's see. Meredith says, I think he'll come out publicly. I think he might. And I think that, you know what we ought to do, actually, real quick, while we're on this slide, let's go over to his fundraiser. There is a GoFundMe fundraiser titled Connecticut Rescue a Second Chance. It is done by Safe Haven of Greater Waterbury as the organizer, and their goal is $330,000. So far, they have raised $303,000. I encourage you to donate. I will be making a donation myself when we get done with this live stream. I think that this is definitely something that we all should stand behind. And you know what? Put your name on it or don't. Be anonymous. Either way, it's not about putting it out there that you helped. It's about helping, right? And I know that you guys know that. Let's go back over here while we go through a couple more comments here. Just gonna, oops, it just refreshed. So I probably missed several here. Mooney has a son who plays disc golf on the pro circuit? Holy cow. Our oldest son just did his first tournament. It was a fun tournament. I think he tied for fourth. I think he tied with 3 other people. 4 people tied for last place. But he had fun. And it's a sport that he's enjoying, and he's doing it with friends. It's pretty great. Royal Order of the Frank. Tylenol has a cream that works better than the other rub-on ointments. I have been using Blue Emu actually. So thank you. Let's see. I know the dentist that cleans her teeth for 18 years and never mentioned him, only mentioned her daughters. Yeah, there were so many people who had no idea. No idea. Yeah, Mamma Mia, this is a great question. What was the stepmom gaining from doing this? What was the point? There's no point, is there? There's no point at all. Couple more things before we go. It's crazy how she was able to get out. The judge shouldn't have let her out. This story is so sad. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, for the judge and for the system. By law, he was not able to keep her locked away. And it's a sad commentary on the law, but I mean, judges don't want people like this to get out, typically speaking. There are those that are corrupt. But I think in this case, the law prevented him from keeping her in jail. Deanna Reiner. I'm so sorry. I'm trying really hard here, but can't pronounce your name. I bet she's an alcoholic, and that's what made her so mean. I don't know. Do you think she's sober now? Well, if she wasn't before, I don't think that she is now. Kimber Smiles says, it boggles my mind when more than one person commit a crime and none of them have the thought that what they're doing is bad. How can two people do that to us and neither realize what they're doing is wrong? Did you see someone gave him $10,000? Yeah, I did. Going back over here, that was like right at the top. An anonymous donation. Pretty amazing. I'm not even showing you guys what it is. Yeah, there it is. Pretty amazing. People are awesome. People are awesome. That's the thing that we need to always remember, okay, guys? The vast majority of us are great. Awesome. But, man, there's a select few that is just beyond the pale. Okay. Anything else? I think I'm going to call it good there tonight, guys. I see a couple people who are celebrating little month anniversaries. Amy Murray has been a fanatic for 1 month. He's so strong and brave, and I wish Ass all the best in his life. I thought I saw one. Brenda says she's a super fanatic for a month. Update on how long you'll keep the long hair. My plan, Brenda, is to grow it out long enough so that I can donate it. And at that point, I'm going to take it all off again. Basically what I'm doing is I've got a full circle here. My dad has been fighting for the last 6 years lymphoma, and he's gone through multiple rounds of immunotherapy and chemotherapy. He did lose his hair. I am one of 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls, and all of us in solidarity with our dad shaved our heads. And I just thought that it would be a good way to go full circle to grow it out to the point where I could donate it. So that's what I'm doing. We did get some bad news today about Dad, but we are not getting discouraged, and we are going to keep supporting him as he fights his fight. And he is beyond an example of somebody who I want to be like. And my mom eclipses that for the support that she's giving my dad. They are quite a team. All right, guys. I toyed with the idea of doing a twofer tonight, having another video, but I'm in a lot of pain right now. I want to call it good. So tomorrow we've got an update on the case of the murder of Kirby Carpenter. There was a hearing today. Nobody was there from the media, but the family was there, and I've been talking to them. I've also gotten some documents and agreement from the court that I'm going to share with you. So tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be talking about the case of Kirby Carpenter. And if you go to the community tab on my site, you will see the news, and there's a link to my playlist if you want to get up to date on Kirby Carpenter. I don't think there's anything else before I go, any shameless plugs or anything like that. I mean, you can always find me on my website, gavinfish.com. Look for us, click here, and head on over to the fish tank where we hang out. There are a lot of fun conversations going on in here, about 4,000 members. Also, this little button. See this little support me button? I want you to click the support me button. And then I want you to scroll down to the bottom, and I want you, if you can, if you want to, buy Autumn a coffee, because she is our lead moderator. She does it voluntarily, and so many of you are taking care of her, and I deeply appreciate that. Thanks for doing that. With that, I know this is a short one, 35 minutes long, but I gotta go. I bid you adieu. Oh, see, we made 116,000 up there. I don't know how to make it so it looks like I'm pointing out. There it is, right there. Kind of awesome. Okay, I bid you adieu. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.